and inappropriate for children. Still here? Then pour your favorite beverage and let's get this fucking show started.
Fantastic Forum, assemble. You're watching Fantastic Forum, the premier show about comic books and your live weekly conversation about entertainment and geek culture. We are the Fantastic Forum coming to you live and direct from the Hall of F. Hope you're having a wonderful morning, afternoon, evening, or night, as the case may be, depending on where you are in the world. And if you're not, you stick with us. We'll help you take it up a notch. You have the usual suspects in the building. First, he is our riddle. Inside of an enigma, trapped in Chinese finger cuffs. You don't know him. You love him anyway. He's our silent assassin, Jay.
Hey, what's up?
What's up indeed, Jay? What's up indeed? Next, he is our intrepid senior reporter. He's next in line for the cowl. He is our resident Dark Knight detective. It's Oz.
I might be needed to fight the crisis happening over the state right now
Indeed, look,
as the skies burn red and green.
Good luck, buddy. Listen, good luck. We're sending you thoughts and prayers. Thoughts and prayers. Next, he is the backbone.
He's not funded for it.
He's the backbone, the pillar, the strength, the Fantastic Forum, our nigh invulnerable brawler and resident strongman, Moses Magnum. As for myself, my name is Lawrence Young. They call me Mary Young. Welcome to Fantastic Forum. We do, in fact, have a great show for you today because we're going to be talking to you about a bunch of stuff. We are going to be talking to you all about 28 years later. Okay, there it is. Make sure I say the right movie. We're going to talk about 28 years later. We're going to be talking to you all about Star Wars Visions Season 3. And we're going to be talking to you all about Death to Pachuco #1. So we got all that plus whatever else it is that you all want to be talking about. And we'll tell you how it is you can let us know what it is you want to be talking about in just a moment. But before we do that, we want to make sure that we thank Mr. Scott Rubin, because without him, this show would not exist. So thank you, Scott Rubin. Hope all is well with you, good sir. And with that said, if you want to get down with Fantastic Forum, we do have a few ways for you to do it. You can go ahead and go to fantasticforum.live, hit the call-in button, and you will be the 5th member of Fantastic Forum. So, you know, that's a coveted spot as well. Feel free to jump in if you want to talk to us about what we are talking about or something else in particular. If you just want to comment on what it is that we're saying at any given moment, you're watching us on YouTube, watching us on Twitch, you can go ahead, drop those comments directly into the show. We'll take them from the comments, bring them into the show. And yeah, your voice can be heard that way as well. So with that said, let's go ahead and get things going. You know, before we jumped on air, Oz, I was going to ask you, and I stopped myself because I figured, you know what? Let me just ask Oz on the show. Are you messing with this this Batman DCKO crossover, the night fight?
I pulled the issue. I haven't read it.
Yeah, you haven't read it yet. That's fair. That's okay. And I know Jay and Moses, I actually mentioned it to you all.
I read it
over
that
the
day
weekend.
after you told me.
Oh, did you really?
Yeah.
That's fair. That's fair. What did you think? Like how did you?
I mean, I like it's again, I'm happy to not read Marvel. Like this is some cool shit happening. Like,
what does good DC books have to do with not reading Marvel?
Well, because there's always a competition. You know what I mean? Like, I mean, they literally say make mine Marvel. You know, like so, and like in the last couple years, like DC's been doing a lot of good stuff, whether it's individual books or even like Nightmare. You know. Or shit like that. So they've been kind of ramping up, and I think this is like 2025 might be like the year of DC. Like they might outsell them and outdo them this year, which I'll be happy because fuck Disney. Yeah.
Okay. Look, I mean, even though Marvel was a thing before Disney, like before it was bought by Disney.
Yeah. I'm okay with that. Yeah. Like it is, but but it's what it is now. Like like you always say, Larry, it is what it is. Like that's how you take it in the butt. Like, it is what it is. Like that's
Lawrence, I'll say this: when I added DCKO to my pull list, they asked me, "Do you want all the tie-ins?" I said, "Nah,
Mhm.
I'm good. I got the main stuff. I'm good." And then when I went to pick up the first issue, I got
Mhm.
3 of the tie-ins,
yeah.
Mhm.
And the
including
thing
There
is,
it is.
they have good covers too. Like that's the thing. It's like it literally makes you want to buy them. Like when you look at them.
Yeah. 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 I listen, I know the concept is what got me for the night fight thing. Like the
Mhm.
idea of Batman fighting like the
Well,
other
it was the
versions
only
what?
the only time
Other versions of Batman that are actually the Robins, like basically the Robins version of Batman. Like that was a cool concept to me.
yeah. Again, it's one of the only times you ever explained it right. And I don't know if it was because we are having it over sushi and ramen, and and that maybe sold it. But it's like, oh man, the way you said this is like, yeah, you, not only did you not drop me off at home, you dropped me off at my the old house where I used to live, because you don't know how to use your ways right. And so then I'm like,
listen,
yeah, and
it's so
so
funny.
then when you drop me off at home, I'm like, oh man, now I got to go get this comic. So
Yeah,
yeah, I
yeah,
didn't go to the comic book store, but I did download it and read it online. You know,
got it,
but yeah,
got it.
it's hilarious. This is the one thing you did right that day was actually the place you chose to have brunch and explaining. It was just like,
There
Larry,
it
what are we
is.
doing here? Like, oh, I'm taking you home. Like, I don't live in Long Beach anymore.
Yeah, listen, I thought it was for some reason I was like, man, I guess it's just taking us through Long Beach until you said something. I sure would have ended up at your old house, which is hilarious.
Yeah,
So, yep. Uh, li- listen, ladies and gentlemen, in the building, we have Hecht KO, aka Hecht Fight. What up, Hecht? Uh-oh. Hecht, are you muted?
he's
Hecht, Hecht's
frozen.
just like,
Don't you see his avatar? He's
there. Oh,
frozen. Like
oh.
he's like,
The switch was like half and half. Had,
There it is.
had a
Got
stroke.
it. Got it.
MS and a stroke. That's where we're going now.
which Batman is this?
Batman.
So it's the same, like this. It's a continuation. Like we talked about DCKO last week. Um, the same Batman
the one with
that
the
basically
peach fuzz on the jaw.
right. Like it's
Uh,
basically like what happens to him after those moments.
It's
Here,
Batman
And so
before the. Who's writing the Batman #1? The one that we reviewed?
Matt Fraction.
So it's before that.
but I'm
I
saying
Oh, does KO
in
take
KO he dies.
Yeah. And he didn't.
or does he?
Did you
Or
did you
Or is he
does he?
or
read?
is he
You,
or is he pruned?
you got to read Night Fight.
Listen, yeah, listen. It continues. It's the continuation of that story. Is what happens next. So
You gotta read.
yeah.
Gotta read the fucking.
That Batman and yeah, the first issue features Dick Grayson and what happens when this version of Dick Grayson takes over the mantle of Batman.
Can I
And so
Can I make a tangent? Um,
yeah.
there's a lot
We
of.
don't really do tangents on Fantastic Forum, Heck. I'm sorry. No, no,
Oh, okay,
no.
my
Of
bad.
course. Go ahead. Go ahead.
I saw a lot of comic book reporting on Facebook, and
Hmm.
they all read this comic and they're losing their shit. They don't.
How so?
Oh, Batman met these other Batmans and he's losing it. He's getting beat by these other Batmans that aren't Batman, but they're Batman. And then the Batman hit the Batman, and Batman's beating Batman because Batman's better than Batman. And they don't understand the comic because
That's why you got to listen to Fantastic Four.
yeah, there you go. Because they don't
They. Uh-huh.
they I guess they reviewed it. They get review copies. I guess they're
Uh-huh.
important, but
Yeah.
I don't think they read KO. They don't understand what led up to it, what's going on to
Mm,
make this happen.
mm.
And now they're like,
Yeah.
oh, Batman's super powered because he came back from the dead.
Yeah,
And
I get
But it
you.
tells
I
you what
see that a
happens in
lot
the
in
book.
reels. I see that a lot in reels, and where they're like talking about some stuff. It's like, yeah, but like that happened from that one retcon, and that happened because of, So it's like they know what happened in theory. They
yeah,
don't know why it happened or how it happened, and why it's
Yeah.
still like not what their statement is technically not true, even though that's what the continuity says right now. You
yeah.
know.
Yeah, they read the comic but don't have the context.
Because
Yeah, and like they do that a lot with like the apocalypse stuff right now, and it's like, no, that's not how apocalypse. Like, that's what's happening right now, but it's happening because of this that happened like a year ago. Like,
Are you
so
talking about with Darkseid?
no,
yeah,
no,
Or are you
no.
talking about X-Men?
Just I'm using that as an example. Like I've seen it happen with
Oh.
apocalypse. I've seen it happen with just like some Wolverine stuff, and it's like because there's like
Mm-hmm.
5 Wolverine series, 2 of which are like non-continuity, and it's like this is why
Right,
Wolverine's
right.
great, and it's like that's a story that ain't continuity, and then you're mixing it with the stuff that's happening in continuity, and it's like that's not how that works.
Mm-hmm.
it's like the
You-
KO stuff. Oh, everybody's dead. Look at all these
yeah,
people that died in the first issue. No, nobody is dead. Everybody's
yeah,
a statue.
Well, the
Mm-hmm.
first
Everybody,
issue actually tells you like whoever wins is gonna bring everybody back.
pretty much. Like, if
What?
they win.
So, does this Batman book not tell you that that's Dick Grayson?
No, it does. It tells you everything. How Batman was able to come back.
So, okay.
that's what I'm
So,
saying. Like
Yeah.
these people
so
don't
those
read
people
the
are just
book. Like
idiots.
Yeah, they
yeah.
are.
Again, back to what I said at the beginning. That's why you gotta listen to Fantastic Forum. Because we actually read the comics, you know. Even when Larry explains them wrong, and then sometimes right, you know. Even when he explains them wrong, he explains them more right than those people.
Listen, I think you all just don't listen to me. That's what I think it
Well,
is.
it's not an
What?
issue of knowledge. It's he's not a good talker. He knows speak good sometimes.
He don't speak good. No,
Not knowledge there, just no come out good.
No entiendo mucho.
No Nintendo.
well, listen. Okay, that's fair. That's fair. But yeah, Oz, I think you'll
Bruno
enjoy
Diaz
it.
se
You should
murió.
mess with it. You
Yeah,
should mess
it's
with it.
it's sitting in my pull list.
Okay,
It's
cool.
it's a good read. I don't think it adds anything to KO. It does, but it doesn't.
It's
No,
fun.
I don't think so. It's definitely yeah.
Yeah,
It's legit like Batman fan service.
yeah,
But
it's
but
fun. Yeah,
it's an ongoing, so I don't know where they're gonna go with it.
No, that book's not
Ongoing, you
ongoing. Heck,
you only
don't
got a
tell me
limited
that.
amount of Robins.
I think there's like 4. I think there's only it, in ongoing. I think it's like he says, like for the next 4 months, like you're gonna have one issue, but I think it's only about 4 or
That's
5
what we
issues.
call a
Yeah.
limited
Yeah.
series.
Yeah,
Yeah, yeah.
We
Right.
got ongoing
It
till
should
it
be.
ends. Yeah.
yeah.
It's ongoing until.
It's like
Okay, hey.
Absolute. Absolute should have been done already, and it's still ongoing. So
You could get 6 good issues if
What?
you include spoiler.
Hey, I promise you, man. If they decide to end the absolute universe, man, I'm like that's the worst decision DC's ever made officially.
I
It's
thought that's what
officially the worst decision.
KO was for. Is gonna end the absolute
I
and
mean, that's what they
reintegrate it back
say,
into the.
and I get it. I get it. Like, I look, I'm not saying that there shouldn't be like some sort of like big event that like maybe concludes like the first, this first era of absolute. What I'm saying is they need to let those books keep going, man. If those books
they're
don't keep going, I'm like, man, like what a tragedy. Like,
they-
look, because
they're
I'm telling you,
they're building up too
there are
much.
more stories.
They're building it up too much to where you can't end it. Not right now, anyway. Because
Nah, man, Seinfeld that bitch ended on top.
Hey, there's something to be said about that. I'm not mad at the thought process behind that. So we'll
They'll
see.
bring it back after 2 crises like Earth 2.
Oh, see now, like that's how you kill the momentum. Like you don't mess
You could
around and like
literally ruin the absolute universe by doing that.
100%. Like don't like if you end it. That's fine.
I mean,
But if
there's
you go end it, and then leave it be, you know, maybe you do something for like a 10-year anniversary or something, maybe. But even then, maybe not.
you're looking at
Because
a
look,
10 years of absolute.
no, I'm just saying, like, say, if you're gonna end it now, and you're like, okay, we're gonna bring it back. Maybe like 10 years later, you bring it back and have like the original creators come and like do their thing or whatever. You know, if they want to tell like what would have been where they those characters would have been 10 years later, that's fine or something like that. But don't mess around and like make it go away and then like bring it back like the McRib. Like, no, don't do that. And like, yeah, Absolute is back. It's like 2 years
I like the
later for no
McRib.
reason. You
Dude,
just
people go nuts over that big rib, Lawrence.
McRib is back
no.
right now, man.
Listen,
It's back right now.
hey,
Is it?
hey,
Yeah.
get
Since last
listen.
week.
I've never had one. Like, I'm just like,
You had
it doesn't
you
look
went
like
to
a good.
did, you went to high
sandwich.
school. Did you have like a meal plan, or did you bring your own food?
He went to private school, like where,
Half and half.
yeah.
Oh,
So he never
bougie
had.
Yeah,
ass.
sometimes.
Yeah, he
I
ne-
Because
probably,
never had.
the rest of us on a meal plan, we had that. It's a McRib. It was just they called it like
Yeah.
a pork sandwich or something.
Yeah.
okay.
Y'all had
P
that.
apostrophe orc sandwich.
P-Org. Was it good in high school?
Hell yeah.
Everything was good in high school.
Like
That
that shit.
cheap
Like,
ass pizza they gave you was delicious. You lived for
yeah.
that shit.
It's
I
like
do
I'm
like
mad at
cafeteria pizza.
I'm mad at 7-Eleven pizza for not being as good as cafeteria pizza from school.
Hilarious. We actually had at my high school as part of our meal program, like we had a Shakey's down the street, and so our pizza was Shakey's
I
pizza.
Yeah, we didn't
I
have
thought
that.
you were a
Yeah,
hood
it
like
was.
us.
Yeah. No. Next thing you know, he's gonna talk about his parents
the-
again. Like
This man.
yeah.
I was
He rubbing all
I was
his
in the mean
privilege
st-
in our face. His
I was in
big
the mean streets of
throbbing,
Gardena.
massive privilege in our face.
This man as hood as
mean-
John Cena.
I don't know how hood John Cena is or isn't. Like,
He said he
is that
slept in the
hood or
car
not
for
hood?
like a week.
It depends. Does it depend on which version of Cena? I don't even know.
I mean,
But yeah, either way. But no, but yeah, we like our like for not every year I was there, but like for like the last 2 years, our cafeteria pizza was like Shakey's Pizza. We had like the Mojos and all that stuff. It was so good. Like, oh my god,
You bastard.
I know. Trust me, I like I missed
That's
that
when you
too.
stopped
And don't get me
running
wrong,
track, huh?
that's hilarious. No, I was trying to run track then. I wasn't that great though. But anyway,
Well, because of the shakies, you were that great. All the mojo potatoes. They weigh you
I just
down.
wasn't fast. Yeah, but
Because
anyway.
yeah, because of the shaky.
Because of the Shakey's,
They
right?
should have starved you like
I
they
do
did
love
us.
pizza. Anyway, okay. Look, you guys ready to jump into some of these topics? I know we got a few. You guys want to talk about 28 years later?
Yeah.
Okay, let's do it. Heck, have you seen this movie?
I have not. I've
That's
never
okay.
seen any of the 28 movies.
Oh man.
Neither had I until this week. So
Well, you only
I
watched
understand.
the one, right? Like so
yes,
that means you don't have any reference of like how the other ones are either.
no, I do not,
No.
and I do have
That's messed
questions.
up.
So
The first one is like the opening to the Walking Dead show.
Yeah, it's the first one is like an innovative like zombie movie.
Did you read the comic?
The Walking Dead comic or the 28 Days Later?
The 28 Days Later. I thought
Yeah.
we reviewed it.
We did, yeah.
So
We
you
reviewed
read that,
28
right?
I-
Lawrence?
we were. I don't remember reading 28 Days Later as a comic.
Yeah, we did.
That doesn't mean that it didn't happen. I just don't remember.
Because I think it was Josh Fialkov that wrote it. So we talked to him about it in one of our early interviews.
Was it? Wait, so is that series based on the comic, or is the comic after the movie?
The
comic
comic is a prequel to the movie.
yeah.
But which came first?
The movie.
Movie.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I don't remember. I don't remember the comic. Joshua Fialkov wrote it. Man,
Yeah.
it just was a long time. I know the first
I believe
movie
I
is
think
like.
that's what it is because I know he added to that lore. Like he like some of
Hmm.
the stuff he did added to the actual lore because it's in continuity. You know.
But the thing is that so was that like early, like some of our first shows then? Because like I know that movie is like an old movie, right? Like I mean, all for all intents and purposes, right? 28 days later came out like early 2000s, right?
Yeah. So the thing the comic came out like 2 or 3 years after.
Okay, so the
Once we had
comic came
already
out
met.
even before Fantastic Forum started then.
No, no. I think it came out after,
Okay.
or
The
maybe
book
at the
Okay.
started
same
come out.
time.
The book started coming out like around '09,
Yeah. So
Okay. So that's
maybe
definitely
into the
after
tens.
Fantastic Forum. Yeah, yeah, no, Fantastic Four. We've been around longer than that, which is
uh,
crazy to say out loud, but it's true. So, um, okay, yeah, yeah, yeah. So yeah, let's talk about it. Like, you all. So Moses, Oz, Jay, you all. This is like you old hat for you all. You've seen all these movies, right?
I've
Yeah.
only seen the first one.
Oh, you saw the first one, and did you watch this one? This last one?
No,
Oh, you should have watched it.
I didn't watch the
It's okay.
second one either.
Yeah, but we're not talking about the second one necessarily.
Well,
Talking
then
about
I'll
this
be
one.
I'll be lost. I'm not gonna know what's
no, you
happening.
wouldn't.
I know. I
Yeah,
listen. I
you
don't
don't know
feel
that.
lost, and
Larry didn't watch any of them, and he doesn't remember the
yeah,
comic, and he don't feel lost at all.
no, I sure don't. But at the same time, I mean, listen, when you're talking about a story that takes place 28 years after, like most of the other stuff, right? It's like that's enough, significant enough time, right? Where you were like, we're telling our own story here. At least that's what it felt like.
I
Now, don't
think
get me wrong. I got to the end, and I was like, I don't know what this is about.
I think
But
I remember liking the first one, but I don't.
mhm.
I'm not feeling the rabies zombies.
Okay.
The
And I
Raid
do remember
Zombie.
people
Yeah.
saying that rabies zombies because they were like all like that was the thing for the first movie, right? These were like
Yeah,
super fast,
yeah.
high, like
It's still a good movie. It's just I wasn't
they're
feeling
like
that
the
type of
the
zombie.
track runner zombies. Now, why don't you? Because it's like a rage virus,
Yeah,
right? So, but why did you not like that, Oz? Just out of curiosity, what was it about that made you feel like you like your zombie shuffling?
I think so. I just remember I didn't like that aspect of the movie. This was a long time ago, man.
But how do you
Yeah,
like
I
your
agree.
zombies? Like, how do you like your zombie movies?
Like the regular Night of the Living Dead, like originals, because even
Like
Night of the
slow
Living Dead,
moving.
even, like one of the last, I think it's Night of the Living Dead movies. Like the zombies start regaining intelligence, and that bugged me too.
Oh, that City of the Dead, City of the Living Dead,
Land.
or
So
Why does that bug you?
Land of the
I,
Dead.
I just are they still zombies at that point if they're learning? Like it just I don't know. It's not something I really enjoyed.
Well, it's evolution. Like,
Yeah,
but yeah. But again, it's like like that's what I'm asking. Like, how do you like just your basic slow moving zombies?
yeah. Walking Dead zombies I liked for a while, especially the older ones were more rotted, and so that affected their movement too.
Yeah.
Hmm.
But you know that
Yeah.
if we really like look at zombies, like if you like those zombies, like you can literally like you just have a. I mean, it'd be like 7 days. After 7 days, they all just decay. Like the bacteria eats them from the inside. You know, like with the sun,
Right.
depending. You know, so it's like
Right.
the raid zombies are actually more innovative and more threatening in the long term. Like they make more sense in a like a Walking Dead type world or even like Living Dead type world. You know.
Yeah, no, I get it. It's just for some reason I
Yeah.
wasn't feeling those.
Yeah.
Look, it's like in the same way how, there are people like when people innovate on vampires, right?
Yeah.
And there's some people that are like, okay, like this aspect of the innovation I'm down for, and that aspect I kind of can do without, right?
Yeah.
Like, like I don't like when they sparkle, right? You know, and
Uh-huh.
then people are like, "Why?" And there are people like, "No, I mean, vampires should have sparkled from the beginning. Bela Lugosi would have been awesome if it sparkled."
Well, no, Bela Lugosi sparkled with presence. Yeah.
So,
This is
some
Pure charisma.
some innovations people don't even know, like that Will Smith movie. People don't realize those were vampires. They still think those are zombies.
Well, listen, they're
well,
supposed to be
yeah,
vampires in the
but
book.
Right.
but
I
that
mean, they're
movie's
vampires in the
wrong.
book.
Yeah, that
The
movie's
movie
fucked up.
definitely makes them
Yeah,
seem like zombies, unfortunately. But
all
yeah,
even they all make them feel like yeah, yeah. Every iteration makes them feel like zombies. Like it's weird.
I
Like
guess
yeah.
technically a
But
vampire is a lot like a zombie.
well, no, but the thing is,
no.
it's so well.
Mm,
Like, I don't want to do a tangent. I know we don't do tangents here,
we don't do tangents.
but
Everyone
what
knows it's about Fantastic
Sine and
Four.
cosine only.
but what it is, it's like technically, it's like it's a world. Like it's supposed to be a world of vampires, what or but they're scared of the human because a human could
Yeah.
kill them in their sleep, and that's the theme of the book. And I know whether it's the Omega Man or
Hmm.
the Vincent Price movie Last Man on Earth kind of does it
Hmm.
okay, but the book really just does the real thing where it's like he's the monster, the human is the
Right.
monster, not the
Right.
and
Right.
they for some reason the movies can't seem to do that right.
I mean, listen, yeah, you're absolutely right. Like, because when I read the book, I was like, wow, like that joint's amazing.
Yeah,
Like the
like
book
in
is
the
great.
book, he's like,
The short story,
yeah, yeah,
or
he's
novella.
the
It's a
monster.
novella.
Yeah, like,
Yeah, yeah.
and you get
But
the
it's
sense
like
that
it's him
he's
that he
yeah
right him coming to the realization that he's like,
that he is
oh,
a monster. Yeah,
like this is like society is this now. They've
they're taking
crafted their own
over.
society,
Yeah,
and I'm
I'm the
the
bad one.
boogeyman. I'm the
Yeah,
monster. Right?
yeah,
Exactly. Like I'm sitting here living in the past. Like my world still exists, but like in
yeah.
reality,
That's why it's
yeah,
called I Am
it's a great theme.
Legend because it's
Right.
like he's not even a man anymore. He's not a human anymore. He's something
Hmm.
beyond that.
Right. So um talk to me, you all, and like actually, Jay, you look. I know you're a fan of this franchise here. Talk to me about. I know that this movie that we're reviewing, which is 28 years later, and the first movie are directed by the same, like it's the same creative team basically, or at least that's my understanding. Talk to me about the difference between like the first movie and this movie. What would you say the big differences are, Jay?
Um, just the establishment, the world. There are two
Mm-hmm.
different worlds. One is a world coping with zombie, or not coping. Um,
Like being introduced, I guess, right? Because we're talking
yeah,
about like a month later.
yeah. Like they're
Okay.
learning to deal with, like finding out, like even just realizing what they are,
Mm-hmm.
compared to a world where they've been doing this like for 28 years. Like
Right. Right. That is a big
they have their
difference.
society, like they know what they're doing.
And
Um,
and is it a thing where like I know you had just like you all mentioned the first movie is like the first episode of The Walking Dead. Like where's the parallel? Like why is that parallel a thing? Like what is it that makes those two things similar?
That's
And
what I
I
said.
guess
Yeah.
yeah,
I
that's
guess
what I
like
said.
yeah, yeah, yeah. Oh,
Doesn't he?
okay. Oh, okay. You don't agree with that,
I don't remember the
Jay?
first episode
do-
of The Walking Dead.
Doesn't he wake up in a hospital and he comes out and like
He
the world is
does.
empty? Yeah,
Yeah, he's in
yeah. It had
Atlanta
that. It had,
and he got abandoned in Atlanta, and basically he doesn't know what's going on because he was like in a coma, like Rick,
Oh,
and
yeah,
then
that's the same thing that happens in 28 Days Later. Like he was in
oh
a
really?
coma, he
Mhm.
wakes up, and the hospital's abandoned. And so he's just there in his hospital gown, like just wandering the streets, wondering where the fuck everybody is.
Oh wow, that's really interesting. Now,
So
which
he
one
wakes up
came out
28 days
first?
after the. But well, here's the thing. With this, Walking Dead doesn't show you. that's where I claimed a big difference is they show you how this thing spreads and in the world, and so they show you the 28 days prior to
So the initial movie,
yeah,
like the
like the
28
first 20
days.
minutes is the first like
Uh-huh.
27 days, and then
Oh,
it starts with it following this character after everything's happened. So you know what already happened. He doesn't know what happened, and now you're watching him get used to this new world and like trying to find food and trying to and not knowing that what zombies are or how these zombies. They show you like news clips and everything of like everything going down, and so you as the audience are like privy to it where he isn't. You know.
oh, that's
Yeah.
interesting.
And that's what Walking
So
Dead doesn't do. Yeah.
right, The Walking Dead literally just drops you into the world,
Yeah.
and we don't like till this day we don't know why how the virus actually started. We just know that yeah. So that's interesting because 28 days later came out in 2002,
Yeah.
and the first issue of Walking Dead came out in 2003.
Yeah.
So I wonder, like, I mean, that might be like parallel process type
Yeah. I don't
stuff
think
creatively.
I don't think anybody ripped off anybody.
Yeah, yeah,
Just because of how long it takes to make a movie for one. And
right.
then and the thing is it's not like those like that concept is the way to innovate a zombie movie. All zombie movies kind of start with the collapse and watching people, you know?
Right,
Here
right.
it's like yeah, I mean even Night of the Living Dead starts with them like visiting their dead mother
Mm-hmm.
and then they just see a weird walking person in the
Mm-hmm.
cemetery, that just probably
Right,
just came up from a grave.
right,
And
right.
then
Okay.
so it's not it's just a new way to do it, period. And I don't think it's like I think there's a movie called Street Trash that I think does that concept in like 86 or something too. So it's not a super new concept for them. Like they weren't really innovating. Yeah.
Interesting. Okay. Good to know. So let's talk about 28 weeks. I'm sorry, 28 years later. Jeez, I keep trying. I don't know why. Like I'm saying it like I want to be watching 28 weeks later, but I
You
really
want
don't.
to.
I'm good. I think I'm.
But
That's
that's like
more
a
action.
and that's a romantic comedy 28 weeks later. Like
It's so funny because I feel like not even just last week, Moses, but I feel like the week before you said something about this joint being a coming of age story 28 years later. And I'm just like Moses out here just talking. And then
yeah.
I watched this movie and I'm like, oh man, this joint really is a coming of age story. I thought you were just talking mess. I
Yeah.
didn't realize you were being like serious.
It just
And
happens to
I'm
have zombies in it. You know?
dude. And I was like, this is actually a coming of age story. I'm like, how crazy is that? Which
It's
is
coming of age for me where it's like a dude like watching his mom die of cancer like, and then decides to sedate himself or they decide to sedate him with morphine, which is like
right.
because
Right.
somebody have done that for me, please.
Have you ever done morphine before or been on morphine
No,
before?
no, no, of
Oh,
course
okay.
not.
Well,
Yeah,
I'm just listen. No, I'm just saying because
Me,
people. I mean, I'm like sometimes people go to the hospital and they give it morphine. I was talking about like
I
outside.
no, yeah, no, I
Yeah,
don't do no,
all, all I know,
I
like
don't
I remember,
I don't
I
do
had
drugs.
a I had a I had a teacher in high school. He was my health and my driver's ed teacher, Mr. Hand.
And he
And
was doing
Mr.
morphine
Hand,
and teaching you driving.
he wasn't he wasn't doing morphine, but he definitely spoke to us as a class. Like he was like a very candid guy, and definitely the kind of dude where you're just like he would be the kind of teacher where people are like, you can't say that. You know what I'm saying? Like they would say you definitely feel that way now.
Yeah,
And they felt he said so much back then that they felt that way then. They're like, dude, they're like, hand, you can't talk to these kids like this. You know what I'm saying? But
yeah.
he wasn't ever
What did he say? Talk to the
disrespectful.
hand.
No, no, he was not. He wasn't a corny dude like that. But it like he was. He was the kind of dude that like when you would take a test in his class, he would take his chair that he would sit in at his desk and put it on top of his desk and then get up on the desk and sit in that chair so he could look over everybody to see if people were cheating or not. And there were people that felt a way about it because my school was primarily like Black and Latino, and Mr. Han was actually half white and half Native American, but he presented white. And so there were people that felt a way about him like sitting over everybody and just like but that he was just like, I don't care how you all feel about it. Like, and it was just crazy because look, he would tell us like all the time, he'd be like, never trust the white man. And then Mr. Han would do some stuff and he would like go back on his word. And they're like, Mr. Han, you said such and such and da. He's like, what'd I tell you? Never trust the white man. And, and it was just crazy, man.
I had a teacher like that.
but
His name was Mr. Kaplan. He was Jewish, and he would do similar things. And they even like he got in trouble. Like they had a school walkout to try to get him fired. And
well, see, but look,
yeah.
that's because you come a little bit later than my generation.
Oh no,
See,
he
like
also
where they were,
well,
we ain't gotten there yet. We ain't gotten
he
there yet.
posted a picture of a FUBU ad, FUBU kids. Like it was a kid in FUBU clothes, and said, "Is this kid gonna rob you in 10 years?" Like,
Wow.
He posted that on what, social media?
no, on the
It wasn't
wall of his
social media back
door.
then.
Yeah, like he posted it on the door, and with that question,
On the door of what?
It's classroom door.
On the outside of the classroom?
Yeah.
Does it
Why
matter?
would he
Well, no, you open it
Well-
and then you close it, so it's the inside technically, but the door's open, so it'd be on the outside of the hallway. So yeah,
That's wild.
and then he's like, they would get pissed at him, and it's like that was his whole thing. It's like it's a social experiment. It's like are they angry at the question or are they angry at who's asking the question?
What kind of teacher was he, you said?
A psychology teacher.
Oh,
Yeah.
listen, you know what though? I'm actually kind of not mad at that though.
Yeah,
That feels like that fool's doing his job in a very unique way.
dude, he's amazing. Like that's
Yeah.
yeah. It was like we dissected ads that they were marketing towards students, and it was like dudes fighting with lightsabers, and then for some reason, I wish I still had the thing. The dude had a little thing that it looked like an appendix from the little appendix, but it was coming out of his crotch, like he had a boner, and it was subliminal ad. Like these two dudes were fighting with lightsabers, and the girls like watching them fight, and it was an ad for some jeans. Like they were marketing to the students. It's like, why this kid has this thing coming out of between his legs, like. So he would dissect shit like that, and that's why he would do the whole like that ad too. And it's like the people that didn't know him would like accuse him of being a racist, and then he's like, "I'm just asking a question. Like, are you mad because you know the answer, or are you mad
Listen.
because
Look, racists do say that though. I'm just asking questions. Racists do
But
say
again,
that.
and that's
Now,
the
I'm not
thing.
saying your teacher was racist because
No,
I
look,
believe that
he
he
might
actually
have-
was just asking questions in good
yeah,
faith.
he really
But-
wasn't, but I know he wanted to push that envelope,
Yeah,
Like,
and listen, I don't have a problem with it.
Yeah.
Yeah. But all this to say, Mr. Han would tell us about how amazing morphine was in the class. And he was saying that, basically would tell us like how, he got in an accident and had to get put on morphine. And he's just like, man, it was so good. And he's like, I wish I could have it again, but you can't mess with it. And he would tell us not to mess with it. But
the greatest
you know,
thing
you
white
don't,
man.
the way to tell people
The only time he wanted to
the-
trust the white man was with morphine.
the way you tell kids not to do drugs isn't
Yeah.
to go on about how amazing they are. Like that's not gonna work.
Usually, if they're giving you morphine, you're in extreme pain. So that
No, absolutely,
instant
absolutely.
switch off of the pain, it must feel amazing.
Yeah, and that was the
Yeah,
whole
but there's a
point that he was
come down
making.
too. Like that's the hard part.
That
you
comes
know?
later. Fuck that. That
Yeah.
comes later. You're not. You're thinking of other stuff by then.
But it's definitely been a thing where, like, I was like, man, like it's one of those things where I've thought about periodically where I'm just like, okay, I don't ever want to be in an accident or anything where I have to be hospitalized. But if I do get hospitalized, apparently morphine is what I need to be asking for. The more morphine. They're gonna be like, you're just here
It's
because
literally in the
you
word
needed
more.
stitches for this cut. Morphine. No. So, but anyway,
He's gonna be like
so
Triceratops.
oh boo, boo. That's hilarious.
You're right. The
Okay.
mastodon was the black one. Go ahead.
Oh, jeez. Why does the black one have to have a master? No, no, no. Okay. 28 years later. So, Mo, you wanted to do this movie, right?
Yeah.
Why? What was it that made you feel like, okay,
Just
we
because
need to be talking about?
it's a horror movie that I wanted you to watch, but it's
That's fair.
the horror part was really just me watching. I was trying to escape the fact that my mother was dying of fucking cancer, and then I watched
Yeah,
this movie, and it's about his fucking mother dying of fucking cancer. And
you're
I'm like,
right.
that's what's scary to me. Like now, like
Yeah,
this shit's too close to real life. Like
there it
fuck these
is.
zombies
That's the real
shit.
horror.
And he got the morphine and I didn't. And that's the true horror. Yeah.
There it is. Listen, now this kid, the main character, for all intents and purposes, is a kid by the name of, um, oh man, I was about to say Zipper, but I like that's not his name because Zipper is the character from Rescue Rangers. This fool's name is not Pogo. Uh, what's this fool's name? Jay, you know his name.
I'm looking it up.
No, no, don't look it up. Nobody look it up. What's this kid's name? His name is it's like they call him Spike, like the Transformers. There it is. Wrong childhood cartoon. Spike is his name. Like, yeah. So Spike is the kid. And I feel for this kid, right? Because this kid, we're talking about 28 years later, and from my understanding of the plot of this movie, this virus originates in England or the UK, right?
Typical.
Um, right.
Can't trust the
Um,
white man.
Mm-hmm.
for that reason, the UK becomes a quarantine zone, which it's a group of islands, so that's good for I guess the rest of the world. But this joint becomes a quarantine zone, uh, and Spike doesn't even live on like what is considered the mainland UK, right? This fool lives on like an island in that area, which I can't remember the name of the island, but it'll come to us, I'm sure. And or we'll look that up. And
Lindisfarne.
there you go. Thank you, Jay. And this joint is there's a causeway that's linked to it, which is literally like a little piece of land that's only accessible during the right tides. So at high tide, this joint's underwater. You can't cross from this island to the mainland, right? But at low tide, you can walk across it to the mainland, and then you're over there. But it's a limited time kind of thing. It's only accessible for these moments, and then after like a certain number of hours, it's underwater again, right? And so the whole like but I'm saying all this to say that we're talking about like 2002 is when we're talking about this thing like happening in the events of the movie, right? So when we're talking about 28 years later, you know, we're literally talking about like 2030 or something like that. But more importantly, it's like the events that we all know that have transpired in the world haven't necessarily happened because this world's history is different because there was this zombie outbreak that happened. And so not only was that the case, but this kid grew up in a sheltered world, right? Like he didn't grow up with the internet. he didn't grow up with um like all the stuff that we think of as modern day
Kardashians.
things. like I might even go. I think we're like TV, right? We're not even talking about we're talking about TV in general, not just Kardashians, right? So it's like, on one hand, I try to give this kid some grace, just because it's like he's growing up in as sheltered a society as you can grow up in, because the only people he knows are the people that lives on this island, and this society that this island has created is all he knows. And so on one hand, I'm giving this kid a little bit of grace, because I'm just like, Spike doesn't understand anything about the world at all, because all the only world he knows is the people he knows on this island, which I'm not sure how even many people it is, but it's only a handful of survivors that have made a world for themselves on this island. And they have like a rite of passage where you go to the mainland and get your first kill of a zombie or whatever, and then you come back. And they let you know, if you can leave whenever you want to leave, but just and you can come back whenever you want to come back, but just know, if you don't come back, no one's coming for you, because they're like, we've learned at this point, like, we don't send people for the stragglers, because all that does is lead to more people dying, so they're just like, go, if you're gonna go, that's fine, but make sure you come back, and if you don't come back, just know you're on your own. So Spike knows this, and I understand, again, like I said, Spike grew up in this like sheltered society. At the same time, I'm like, Spike might be like the dumbest kid in the whole society, apparently, because I'm just like, Spike makes some terrible choices in this movie where I'm just like, where are you going? Like, he went out for his first outing, and it was terrifying. He barely made it back. Barely made it back. Him and his dad, his dad is like a G and goes out and is like,
He does it all the time.
right. Like, I mean, yeah, his dad is a seasoned vet, and even he was scared when they were out there. They made it back by the skin of their teeth, the two of them, which his dad, I don't know why his dad wanted to take him out early. Everybody in the town is like, you're taking him out at 13. It's kind of young, man. Like, we usually
Because his
wait till
mom
like
is dying.
15. No, it's not because his mom is dying. It like the dad took him out. Like, his mom is dying has nothing to do with his dad taking him out early. Like, because it's not like his dad wasn't going out there with him. Like, let's go find a cure. Let's go help your mom.
No,
Dad
but
was
he's
just like,
prepping him for the hard shit because she's dying.
Time for you to die too, son.
Or like, this is like, you have to face the facts of life early, because she's gonna die before you get your dick sucked once or whatever. Like, like, he's not. She's gonna die while he's young, so he needs to harden him up so that he can handle his mom's death.
see, not like, listen, I look, I hear you say that. I feel like that's like some like toxic male logic. Like, that's like,
That's
this is
me
ridiculous.
watching it while watching my mother die.
Yeah, like, I'm just
Yeah.
like, it doesn't make any sense. Like, it's like,
Yeah.
if you want to make sure your kid is prepared for their mom dying, then you have conversations with them. You don't take them into a zombie filled like area so
Men
he can
don't
go
do that
kill
in the
them.
best of times. They don't do it in the zombie apocalypse, post-apocalypse. Like,
True.
I wait. So what we're saying is,
it's like,
because
it is toxic masculinity shit, or how you said it, because men don't do that in the best of times. They're not. If they don't do it in the best of times, they're not going to do it in a post-zombie apocalypse.
I don't know, man. It's just like, if it's
Look,
more
that's you being
dangerous.
optimistic again, Larry. But yeah, this is the
It's
world we
not
live in right
optimism.
now.
I'm just saying,
no,
do you want your kid to live or not?
Probably not. Not in this world.
Okay,
like that.
And that's fair. Look, if that's how
Yeah.
he feels, then it makes sense.
Yeah.
If he doesn't care if his own
But
child
if he
lives or dies,
survives,
then
he'll be
you're right.
harder, and he can handle it.
Yeah.
But
Also,
if he survives, like, why are we
You
rolling
got-
the dice on the kid surviving?
Well,
like,
that's
why don't we wait 2 years?
Well, that's what rites of passages are. Like you got to look at it like the Native Americans or like the the Incas and shit like that. Like that's what this is the type of world they're living in now.
Look,
Yeah.
but it's not.
if the kid's mom is gonna die, that means when the dad has to go out on an excursion or something for supplies or whatever, either he's got to leave the kid alone or he's got to bring the kid with him. And he's gonna bring the kid with him. Kid's got to
You
be
got to
prepared
rough
for
them
what's out
up.
there.
Yeah. You got to make them tough. Yeah.
You listen. I hear you all trying to justify this decision, and I'm
Not
telling
you.
you, like it's all bad stuff. Like
It is
this is
bad
all
stuff.
bad logic.
It is bad stuff, but that's what happens. That's how these rites of passages go. Like they're not. They call it growing pains for a reason, Larry, because it's painful.
Listen,
Dude,
I'm not saying.
if when you told your dad there was a guy bullying you, he didn't put on some boxing gloves and start punching you in the face, he was a
Yeah.
bad parent.
Or
Listen,
if they didn't tell
your
you,
dad,
like, if
your
he
dad
fucked you
teaching
up,
you how to fight is a whole different thing.
I didn't say teach me how to fight. I said
no,
punch
he
me in the
fucked
face.
you up. Yeah, he fucked you up worse than the guy's gonna fuck you up. And he says
Yeah.
if you don't go back and fuck him up after he fucked you up, I'm gonna fuck you up even worse.
Well,
Man,
mine
my
said
mom
Yeah,
told
but
me
not.
that shit.
we
Mine
can
said he's
we
not
can
going to
all
punch
agree
you
that's
harder
not
than
like.
that.
I mean, but that's not the way to handle that situation, is it?
Is it not? I mean, like the
I was
softest
never bullied
motherfucker on the
again.
planet is president now, and nobody can fight him because they didn't treat him that way. He don't know how to handle shit because they didn't treat him that way. I'm saying it might not be right, but it's extremes, and maybe there's a balance. But we ain't finding that balance if people are like, no, don't do that.
It might not be right, but I was never bullied again.
Hey,
Yeah.
listen. What I'll
And
say
I
to
could
you is
take a hit
this.
like a motherfucker.
Listen, I'm not saying the dad in this movie is a good dad. I'm not saying that. What I am saying is the kid is not, or at least shouldn't be, like he comes across initially like when he goes out with his dad to do this thing for the first time. He doesn't come across as a stupid kid. He doesn't come across as like a dumb kid. And he realizes, like he knows, because they show you in the movie that he knows that like I went out there and I wasn't quite up for the challenge of everything that was happening out there. And he's like, my dad talked me up still, and he's like, hey, why? Like he even says, he's like, dude, it feels like he's lying. And it's like, and he's like, it's like I'm sure, like, look, and but his dad, even before they get back, tells him, he's like, no, listen, you did good, which I think was legit. Like, he's like, you didn't hit those zombies, but you kept shooting. And that's more than a lot of men in your position would have done. And I believe that was true, because I'm sitting here like, this is crazy, like this situation that this poor kid is in. But here we are. And it's like, you got to do what you got to do when you're in the situation that you're in. You're like, if you weren't ready, you should have said that before you left, right? And it's like, okay. And I get it. That's a lot of responsibility to put on like a 13-year-old. But hey, it's like, you could have been like, nah. And nobody would have been like, why are you being such a punk at 13, especially if the most of the people go at like 15. But it's like, okay, your dad wanted to take you out there, whatever. You make it back by the skin of your teeth, right? The part that blowing my mind is this kid decides, not only am I going to go back out there, but I'm going to take my sick mom with me. And, from his perspective, it's like, dude, your sick mom can't help you. And so what makes you feel like you barely just got back this last time with your dad, who was like the person that was like the reason you made it back? Like that guy was the reason you're alive today to make this choice. Why would you go back out there and then take your sick mom with you? Like, I'm just like, that's a bad choice, man. And I'm like, this kid might be mentally disabled.
Real quick, Rough Rider says, Craven the Hunter, not a good father. Pshaw. Gas. Pshaw. That's the dude that played, the dad was the dude that played Craven,
Right.
But the thing is...
Wait, so is that guy, is he actually English?
Yeah.
I didn't know that. That's crazy. Damn. Good for him, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, continue.
But like the way I see, I mean, I see what you're saying, but the reality is like he's got nothing to lose. They told him there's a
Sure
doctor
he
there.
does.
What?
He has his and his mother's life to lose.
His mom's dying already, and he's risking his life to care for her because there's a doctor over there where he's going. You know,
He doesn't know what's wrong with his mom. He doesn't
exactly.
know
He needs the
if she's
doctor.
gonna live
Yeah.
or die.
Right.
So, but what I'm saying is
But
there's no reason for him to know that he
you
can
talked for like
protect
10
her.
minutes already. Let me tell you. He's got nothing. His life is nothing. He's got no TV. Like, what the fuck? Like, he's like, I might as well. I'm either gonna die and she's gonna die or whatever. But fuck it, let's do this. You know, because that's what it is. The world sucks.
No, I agree, but
So he's like, fuck it. Like, it's okay if I die because it sucks to live too. Yeah.
is it worse to be alive in a sucky world than to be dead?
If you feel that it sucks for you, yeah. Like, ask any depressed person ever.
Yeah, but we try to stop depressed people from dying. Yes,
No, you don't try to stop nobody. You're lucky if they do or they don't. You know, you ain't doing shit for no depressed person. You think you are, but you ain't. Yeah. So
Hey,
yeah,
man.
and that's the thing. It's like that's the coming of age. It's like him taking that journey. You know. Now, my criticism of the movie is that it took like. It felt like 5 movies trying to get to the kid's coming of age. You know, like just started
Oh,
with
you
the
thought it was
mom.
too long?
Yeah. Like I think like the first 45 minutes was like, okay, now you're establishing the world. It's taking way too long to establish the world. I already know it's
Oh.
It's the 28. That's that universe. I know what the universe is. I don't need 45 minutes of him and his dad cheating on his mom and him trying to figure out that fucking what is it, the ambiguity of morality, you know, like that has nothing to
But
do.
you can agree. Oh, we got Rough Rider here saying he's a kid. There's no doctors in town that can help his mom. Maybe the one on the mainland can. They call him crazy. He might be crazy enough to create a cure. Listen, and that's fair. Like, listen, if you're saying he has 13-year-old logic, I'll agree with that. And
Yeah,
that's really what it boils down to. Where it's like the kid is immature, but it's just
again,
like
it's a coming of age movie. Yeah.
no. But here's the thing. My whole thing is like, listen, like the kid obviously feels betrayed by his father because he finds out his dad is cheating on his mom,
Yeah.
and I can understand that 100%. My whole thing is you don't have to go alone. Like, ask somebody else to go with you. Like, try to build a coalition.
He's a
Yeah.
kid.
Again,
Kids
he's
fucking claim they're gonna run away from home at like 10.
I ran away at
No, I
4.
got it. No, I got it. Like,
It's not a smart decision, but kids aren't that bright.
Yeah.
yeah, I guess, man. I
And
don't
he
know.
never had any pussy either. So it's like if he had pussy, he would have stayed his ass in the village, you know?
Listen, I just felt like they established him smarter in the beginning, and then he got real dumb in the middle.
It's not dumb. It's just it's emotional responses. Like he wants to he balances the risk of taking his mom, but it's like it's not easy to eliminate a lot of risks in that world because it's all risky. So it's like fuck it.
Listen,
I'm just gonna.
staying in the village is not risky. Like, let me put it like this.
But staying in your village
He could have.
Hold on. Staying in your village and living with the fact that you didn't do what you could for your mom that's dying, like that's more emotional
He could have.
shit.
No, I hear that. He could have went on his own and brought the doctor back to the village.
They don't want the doctor in the village.
He could have went on his own and brought the doctor back to the village.
But again, he would have just been cast out like he got cast out.
How do you know that?
How do you know that he wouldn't?
All I'm saying is his mom would have been safe the whole time. And
She wasn't safe to begin
if your
with.
primary
She wasn't
if your
safe to
prime
begin with.
if
She's
your primary
dying.
if you're
Period.
you
So
nobody knows that. Nobody
no, we
knows
know that. That's the whole point of the movie. She's dead no matter what. Like he did his whole
No, that's not.
journey, and that's his
He
coming of
doesn't know.
age.
Nobody knows that.
But that's the
Nobody
story,
like
Larry. That's the
he's like my
story.
mom's sick. I want her to be better. He could have went to go get the doctor. Brought the
If the
doctor
mother
back.
lives, this kid learns nothing, and it becomes a better. It becomes a shitty movie, shittier than what it is.
Listen.
You know.
I'm not saying
Yeah.
it's a better movie for that move. I'm just saying it's a weird choice for a kid to make, to be like, we're gonna, because he knows how dangerous
It's a
it is out
weird
there,
world
because
he
he's been
lives
out there
in, Larry.
himself. Yeah,
The kid
man,
the kid can be intelligent and not wise.
Some things come from experience, and some
it's
things
not
come
it's
from
but
from
no, but
aptitude.
that's
You know.
but that's the thing. He's like, they show him as decently smart, and he has the experience enough to know at this point that going out there is a bad idea in general. Now, if he decides he wants to risk his life to go out to save his mom, that's one thing. But to take her with him is the crazy part to me, where I'm just like, I
I
don't
think
know.
you're.
Like, I don't get that.
I think you're being really insensitive to somebody that had to wipe his own mom's ass as she was dying. Because I'll do whatever the fuck it takes. I'll do whatever the fuck it takes to help her, and I understand this fucking.
Of
kid.
course, no, but you're not
Yeah,
going to risk her life to help her.
Isn't that
Well-
what chemo is? Like, you know?
No.
Wouldn't him going
Get the fuck out of
wouldn't-
here, Larry.
him going on his own, getting the doctor and coming back take twice as long as him taking his mom with him in the first place?
Yeah.
I mean, like,
If you don't know how much time
maybe-
she's got,
listen, maybe not, because it's like he can move faster without her, probably. But also, too, it's just the idea of, like, it's more so like, you don't know what she is, how she is or isn't going to be. Like, she's having these fits. Like, you gotta be
And-
quiet at certain points.
and at the same time removing her from the cheating husband.
No, like, it's not. See, that's the whole thing. It's like, that doesn't make any sense. It's like, she's not safer out on the mainland.
I didn't watch the movie.
That's the
Yeah,
long and the
sure.
short of it. So I'm just like, it's
Like,
a crazy.
the
it's a
only
wild
guy on
choice,
my
but-
side is the one that didn't watch the movie.
That's because I'm hearing you two talking. Mo's the only one making sense. Like Lawrence's arguments are just like out, like he doesn't understand that.
Like he was never a kid in pain.
Look. I mean, look. That might be kind of true. Like, you know,
He's
I
talking
I
like
was
a man that
kid.
he's talking like a man that ate Shakey's pizza as a kid.
Well, listen. I'm just saying, like, you know, at the end of the day, it just felt like the choice he made was more for him than it was for his mom.
Well, yeah,
And that's
that's how this shit works. The dead rest, but we want them here, and we do whatever it takes. You know.
Well, that's
Yeah.
my whole point. Where it's like,
It's
if you
fucking
care
stupid.
about your mom,
Yeah, it's stupid.
you
No,
you
it's not
you
about
don't make
care-
that choice.
No, you care about yourself, about how you feel about your mom. That's the problem.
Okay,
That's the
and-
message in this
okay.
movie. You know, like
Okay, and
Yeah.
that may be where I'm not understanding.
Lawrence,
Okay.
you've known us long enough that you know a lot of times we just make the stupid choice.
I don't feel that about you all. I think that you all are very smart guys that make choices.
stupid
mostly.
choices all the time.
Look, we all make bad choices. We all make bad choices from time to time.
I do them on purpose sometimes.
Except for Joe. Joe, not human, makes no bad choices, right, Jay?
I know. I think Joe, like he looked at that
That's
ramen on
the
Sunday,
humility
like,
laugh. That's the humility.
when he looked at that ramen, it's like I wish he did that bad choice of eating the ramen. I think he would have liked it.
The ramen was delicious. I tried to get Joe to have some. He didn't want any. But anyway,
I had the
But yeah, man.
scallops.
you did. How'd you like those? Yeah or no?
Oh, those were terrible.
Jay's like, why do people eat scallops?
I agree with Jay myself because I'm not a fan of fried scallops. Like I like them raw.
Oh,
Yeah,
I had like 3 of them.
yeah.
Like, it was terrible.
Now-
Yeah.
Now, understand, Jay, like the best way to have scallops is not fried. It's one of the few foods where it's like fried doesn't make scallops better.
They're
Fried
good, but
fried
they're not as not how I
they're
prefer them.
better they're better like seared, like with butter,
Yeah,
in my opinion.
Everything's
Like
better with
not
butter.
raw personally. I've never actually had a raw scallop, but
yeah. Oh man.
But anyway,
Okay.
that's for another day. Another day. Like, look, you've been to. Oh, you know what? You never had it though. Like I was like, you've been to Benihana. Benihana, you have scallops, but you've never had the scallops at Benihana.
No, I don't remember what I had there. It's been too long.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
remember what he
Anyway,
had there. He had the teriyaki steak and the teriyaki chicken.
he said I remember what he had there, which I believe 100%. Like
I wasn't
I'm
even
sure
there.
Moses. Listen, I listen. Look. I believe Moses got told the story and he remembers. Like 100%. But anyway, so Jay, what do you think of this movie generally speaking? 28 weeks. I mean, so 28 years later.
Oh,
What do
I
you think of this
enjoyed
movie?
it. I thought it was pretty good.
Okay. And how do you feel about that in relation to the other two movies? Like, do you like this movie better than those, or are you more of a fan of like days or weeks?
Um, like I like 28 Days Later. Like that's the best of them. 28
Okay,
Weeks Later is a close second, and 28 Years Later is a close third.
got it.
Like there are no
Okay,
bad movies in this thing so far.
got it.
Um,
I just feel like they well, not to speak for Jay, but it's just like the zombie thing is just the way to do whatever genre of movie they want to do. Like the first one is like
Mm,
the zombie movie, the second one's like Jay said, like an action movie, and then the third one is like a coming of age movie, and then it's like,
mm-hmm.
and they could probably do another one, and it's like a romantic, like a romance drama. It's
I
just set
love
in
the
it.
that
Bone
universe.
Temple,
Just I'm sorry, say it again.
the Bone
Look,
Temples.
Yeah,
that's the sequel
Yeah,
because like this next set is supposed to be like a trilogy apparently.
it depends on how well the Bone Temple
The reception,
does.
yeah.
right,
Yeah.
right.
Well, no, not the
Now
reception, the money.
that's hilarious. I mean, that's fair. And look, I feel you. You're right. Like,
The
look,
director has
reception,
stated, like, we don't have the money. Like, we're
right,
hoping we get, like, if these make money, they'll let us make the third one.
right,
If they don't, then it'll
right.
stop at two.
And I did see right, like they did like film like one and two like back to or like this one
Back to
and the
back.
sequel back to back, right? So Moses, how about you, man? Like, how do you like this movie in relation to the other previous two?
I kind of just like the way I just reiterate what I said. Like I feel like they are using them as a way to do different genres of stories within that universe, and I'm not mad at it. Like that's how I feel like that we should do. Like that's why I love the like She-Hulk, because it's like it's a superhero show that isn't really, it's about her being a lawyer and having superpowers.
Hmm.
It's kind of how I would want to do like back when Carol Danvers was Miss Marvel, like her show would be more like Sex and the City, but with
Mm,
superhero. So it's like but I did enjoy it. What I didn't like is definitely like I think it was a little too long. Uh, Everything they showed me was good because it's very beautifully shot, but you know, at the time I didn't want to like cry. I was looking at this movie to escape the fact that my mother is dying of cancer, and then it turned out to be a movie about
yeah,
somebody's mother dying of
mom
cancer.
dying of cancer. Yeah,
So it became a
sheesh,
different
man, that
type of horror
sucks.
movie. Yeah. So it's like
So that
me,
means
Emily, and Liz were watching it, drinking beers, and I smoked a little weed, and then we all ended up crying. Like it was just,
right,
the last half hour
yeah,
of the movie, we were just crying, all three of us.
absolute. Okay, so does that mean that like I hear you what you're saying in regards to the three movies being vehicles for different genres, but which one did you like the most? And
28 days later is like the best. Like
okay,
that's like,
okay,
I mean, again, that kind of reinvigorated some of the zombie genre.
got it.
So
Got it.
and I love the Crazies, and this is kind of like the Crazies, but it's still it was done in a really good way, shot in a really that Canon C80 like video
Mm-hmm.
camera. Like I gotta buy
Right,
that
right,
camera.
right.
But yeah, and like
And
it's because it was all
and
shot in like a camcorder, so it looks that like the look and everything is well done.
you're talking about the original right now?
Yeah, 28 days later. Yeah, that's why
Got
it's
it.
the best.
Mm-hmm.
Like just the way it was shot. Like
Mm-hmm.
it wasn't like it wasn't like a found footage movie, but it was
Yeah,
shot
yeah,
on a camcorder.
yeah,
So
yeah.
it's
I know
it's
they're saying
just
this one was like shot. This one that we're reviewing was like basically shot with iPhones.
yeah, and they do
That's
some
crazy.
beautiful shit with it too. Like, and that's
Yeah,
one of
no,
the
it
things.
looks
Like,
great.
I get mad because it's like because Danny Boyle and Alex Garland like working together. Like, they
Right.
always make some beautiful scenes, and then
Yeah,
have
yeah,
them doing them on iPhones and stuff. Like, it's insane, dude. Like, it's just
yeah.
yeah.
I agree.
And I was on like they interviewed me for like NBC News yesterday or yesterday 2 days ago, but yeah, the dude did everything on the iPhone. Like everything was done on the iPhone for NBC News. It tripped me out. It's like, yeah, I'm over
What
here
did they
buying.
interview for?
The same stuff with the homeless and thing. So
Oh, in
yeah,
Long Beach.
yeah. So
Got it.
they were they're going to all the people that they came to my shop and talked to me.
Got it.
I think they told me I was on Telemundo too, but I haven't seen it. So yeah.
You ain't
Nice.
made it to you
Yeah.
get on Univision.
Yeah, and I thought it was gonna be Univision because it's NBC
Univision.
Universal. But
Too funny, man.
That's 2 steps away from
So,
Sábado Picante.
yeah, and Chacal's gonna kick my ass out.
so, okay. So it sounds like 28 days is like the blueprint, and so you like 28 weeks better than 28 years
No, I like 28 years better
than weeks.
than Weeks. Yeah. Weeks was good, but it just I don't know. Maybe it was too soon or something. But
Hmm. I
well
mean, I think
again,
it's like
it's a
5
different.
years between
There,
the two films, though,
yeah, but
right?
there's different like they're different movies. Like like there's
Yeah,
literally two
absolutely.
genres of movies. So it's like
Right.
this is the genre that I like more than the second
Yeah,
one. So it
and
just
I know
happens to
that
be in the same universe and zombies.
yeah, and I
So
know that like the creative team, like I mentioned, is like the original creative team is the same people that did this movie
yeah,
versus the one that did Weeks is a different
yeah,
creative team. So
yeah.
interesting. That's real interesting. Well, listen, I will tell you all that this watching this was definitely a tense experience for me. However, I enjoyed it. Like I really did. Like it was a good movie. And I was pleasantly surprised because I've heard good things about the franchise in general, but
Hmm.
I wasn't sure if that was more like horror people liking horror stuff or if it was just about like movie people liking movie stuff. And this is definitely like, I mean,
It's kind of both.
yeah, it's both, right? Like
Yeah, but
28 weeks
the
is
first
definitely
one
a
is
hybrid.
still both too. Like it is like horror people liking it and movie people liking movie. Like it's cinema
Like
still.
it
Cinema.
legit like this movie legitimately made me feel like I might need to go back and watch the first one.
Yeah, you
Like I
should.
felt I feel that way, and I very well may do it. I can't make any promises because
Well,
like I'm
you're gonna
certain
review it next week.
I'm certain the first one is probably like a lot more like zombie movie more so than like say this one. But that I'm not necessarily adverse to that, and the way
But
that
you
they
watched like
did
the
it
first Resident Evil movie, right?
I did.
How about the second one?
I don't think I watched the second one
Okay.
because the first one wasn't that great
No,
to
I
me, at
actually
least.
I enjoyed the first one. But
Wait,
this
which
feels
one
like
is the one with did they have the dog in the cross section? Was that in the first one or the second
That
one?
was the second one.
Okay, maybe I did see the second
The
one.
first one is the
The
Michelle
f-
Rodriguez one.
Where the train at the end.
I listen. It's hard for me to remember. Like I definitely watched the
Look,
first
I,
one, but
I
I'm pretty sure I watched the second one
The
because
first
I
one
remember
was
the dog
I
cross
like the
section.
first one. I like the first one, but I can admit it wasn't that great of a movie.
I would venture to say that it was a good movie because it was a zombie story that made you feel claustrophobic. Now, granted, it's a corporation instead of a house, like Night of the Living Dead, but there's parallels that play into that. Now, Night of the Living Dead had the whole racial undertones that really like made it like a great movie. This one didn't have it, but it did follow like if you want to follow like tropes and stuff. And I feel like the second Resident Evil should have been more like 28 Days Later. Like that should have been the second Resident Evil movie.
Mm, interesting. Yeah, so we'll see. I mean, but I very well might watch the first one, especially because I know that like watching this movie 28 weeks later, I'm sorry, 28 years later. I apologize. She's like, I don't know why I keep doing that.
You're
But
gonna have to
anyway,
watch the
watch.
second one now. At this point,
I don't know that I have to. 28 years later, I was like I watched it and I was like, dude, I'm kind of invested. Like I'm interested in what's going to happen next, which is crazy because this movie kind of takes like a little bit of a turn at the end, and based on the things that I've seen after watching the movie, like it feels like the folks that made 28 weeks, I'm sorry, 28 years that made 28 years later are like, yeah, like the end of the first movie is kind of a lead in to the next movie, which even though it's like the third movie in the franchise, they're kind of treating it almost like a soft reboot. Or maybe not reboot, but like basically they're almost treating it like, yeah, it's the third movie, but we're gonna make like a trilogy in this era.
Hmm.
So it's like the third movie in the franchise, but it's also like the first movie in this new era of
Right.
the 28
Years.
franchise.
Yeah.
So it's like, it's a lead in to the next set of movies as well as the third one in a trilogy, which is a weird thing, but so the story of these people are going to continue into this next movie which is already made, and they're saying the end of the this movie kind of sets the tone for what the next movie is going to be like. And I'm just like, that's kind of crazy because the end is tonally speaking is completely different from all the rest of the movie. So I'm just like, okay, maybe I'm down to see what that's like, just because like again I had to like kind of go down a little bit of a short or I had to go down a little quick rabbit hole just to be like, what's this about? Because there's definitely like an English kind of thing that's happening at the end of the movie, and if you're like not aware of what that's all about, then it kind of like it feels a lot weirder than it is. And so I'm just like, okay, like I'm kind of interested to see where this goes next, because this kid, despite Spike's bad decisions, I'm like, I'm kind of invested. I would like to see what happens to him next.
As he
you know?
grows.
Right. Right. And so I'm just like, I might be down for that, which is crazy because I would not have thought that. We also like last week we talked about Welcome to Derry, right? And I'm very happy to leave that where it is. because
No,
I was just like,
you have to see the next episode.
I don't
It's so
have
good.
to, and I very well may not, because I'm just like, it felt like it wasn't bad storytelling or anything like that, but it was just more like, yeah, like it's not compelling me enough to like sit through another episode of quarter way trauma, you know, where I'm just like, nah, I don't need that in my life. However, this I was kind of like, while there was moments where I was just like a bit on edge, and like I'm like, I'm not a big fan of seeing people get like decapitated and their spines like ripped out of their bodies. I might I might be willing to see that another time or two, just to kind of follow what's happening next with Spike and his dad and the rest of that, like those people. So yeah, so I don't know. That might be a testament to 28 years later. So anyway,
Lawrence, did your
yes.
other show make you watch the Saw movies?
Uh, I watched the first Saw again, but I had seen Saw already. I watched Saw when it came out, not because, I mean, mainly because, like, again, like I'm not a horror person, but if a horror movie feels like it's gonna tell me a good story, I'll venture out.
We should
Like
just
I
rate it
saw,
before we get into that. I think
no,
we
no,
should.
no, we'll rate it.
Yeah.
There's not a whole bunch into it. All I'm gonna say is like Saw was a movie that the
No, but
story
he's
compelled me
gonna
to.
have more questions.
You'd seen
Yeah.
it before, so okay.
Yeah.
I had seen it before. Like I went to go see
No,
Hannibal in
I was
theaters.
just wondering if you'd seen it or if you saw it for the show.
No, I had
Go
seen it
ahead.
before. Exactly. So yeah, with that said, uh let's rate 28 years later. Jay, what would you rate 28 years later?
I would give it a 4 out of 5.
Sounds good. Sounds good. Moses Magnum, what
Four out
would
of
you rate
five.
20?
Yeah, two.
There it is. Yeah. As for myself, I give it a 4 out of 5 too. Like, yeah, I liked it, which I did not expect. So yeah. Oz, what would you rate the review?
You guys made me want to go see the original again.
That sounds like a 4 out of 5. There it is.
I
Heck, what
think
would
he
you rate the
would like
review?
this one though. Like, I think.
Maybe. Who knows? You know how Oz
Are
is.
they still
Oz,
fast raging zombies after our 28 years?
Yes.
there are
Yes.
some, yes.
Because in the trailer he looks like classical.
You
No,
see the.
he's still
Yeah.
fast.
Yeah.
Okay, all right, go ahead.
What was the
There's
question?
some that aren't fast, but what would you rate it? Heck, the review.
I will rate it a 5, but you didn't sell me on the movie. However,
Mm,
Night of the Living Dead, 5 out of 5.
Yeah.
there it is.
It's a classic.
There it is.
The
There it
ending
is.
is great, where it's like, oh, there's a black man. He's a zombie. Kill him.
I hated that ending.
Crazy.
Yeah, it's so crazy.
I like the Key and Peele where they're in a zombie apocalypse, but all the zombies are scared of them.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
I
That's
love
a
it.
classic
And then they
zombie.
find and then they
That's
find
an
the cookout.
innovative. Yeah, that's an
Yeah.
innovative take on zombie.
Dude, it's a great skit. I agree. I agree.
They're
So
so
funny.
good.
They're like, these are racist ass zombies. So funny, man.
And the one I love
Listen.
is the one where they're like they're being sold as slaves.
Oh, I was
and
gonna
nobody
mention that one.
and nobody wants to buy them.
Yeah.
Like, my
Yeah.
man, like
That
that
is
guy's
funny.
4'9". Like,
But it's
Oh,
funny
dude,
because they
it's such a
start
good
off
show.
talking all kind of shit of how that they're gonna escape and these fuckers ain't gonna do shit to me, and then they're like, hey.
Yeah. Yeah, no, it's a classic show, man. Classic stuff. All right, let's go ahead and let's talk about Death to Pachuco. Or Death. Yeah, wait, no, I'm sorry. I'm about to
No, you
mess
got it
around and
right.
say it wrong.
No, you said it right.
Oh, I did? Oh, there it is. Death to Pachuco. Thank you. All
Better say
right.
it right with us around.
Better say it right. Let Death to Pachuco. So, Moses,
Yeah.
tell us about Death to Pachuco.
Oh, it's a noir story set around the Pachuco, the Zoot riots in LA, which is a
Mm-hmm.
historical event, and it, basically it's a murder mystery uh, that is unfolding as we read the first issue, and it's written by Henry Barajas, which is
Mm-hmm.
we reviewed one of his books. I forget the name, but it was like a D&D like in the Aztec world kind of thing. We
Yeah.
did it. We reviewed it before. I forgot the name of it, but um yeah, this is his new book. It came out on Top Cow, which I'm glad to see cuz when I first met him, he had to pay for his own table even though he had like 3 books on Top Cow. like
Mm-hmm.
so now he's at the Top Cow booth uh at conventions, which is good to see. And then this is his new like book that got greenlit, and I was excited for it when he announced it. And yeah, I'm reading this first issue. It's like yeah, it follows the story of this dude, Ricardo something. I forget the name, but the detective dude. And let me look at my notes here. I guess
Detective Pachuco.
yeah. Let me see here. Where is my notes? So it's
You said it's a top cow?
yeah.
Image Top Cow.
Yeah. Yeah, Ricardo
Mm-hmm.
Tellez. He's racing against time to solve the murder of Carlos Urbano. Which is there's a real life case called the Sleepy Lagoon case.
Mm-hmm.
And so this is a historical noir uh comic set in Los Angeles in 1943, which is a pivotal time for Mexicans and Mexican Americans
Mm-hmm.
you know, in America. And it kind of that's kind of what I like how it kind of mirrors now too, like a little bit, So
Yeah.
uh,
Yeah. Absolute. Absolute. So, um, I mean, it's really interesting just because, like, I mean, I love history. I really enjoy LA history specifically,
hmm
especially considering, like, like LA likes to pretend like we don't have a history a lot of the
yeah,
time. Like we like to like
look,
knock buildings down and put new ones
yeah,
up, and like we
or
like
pretend we never
people in
had
neighborhoods have
organized crime.
right,
Yeah,
exactly. Like people in neighborhoods have to fight to like maintain stuff because cats are like, like we could totally put like a luxury apartment building right there, and it's like, no, like that joint is significant. You can't knock that building down,
uh,
right?
No, but we
So
can knock over and put a Starbucks. Come on.
exact 100%. Like they will put a luxury apartment building with a Starbucks and a Whole Foods at the bottom in a second. They don't even think about it. And it's just like, dude, like like, don't get me wrong, it's really interesting because it's like very a contrast with the East Coast, right? Because the East Coast is all about their history. And don't get me
yeah,
wrong, their history runs deeper because you're like literally talking about like the beginning of the country over there.
right.
See,
But
look what you're saying. Look what you're saying. Their history is deeper. Why? Because the white people
because
got
it's
there first.
older.
Because white people got there first.
No, it's not.
I mean, you can
Look,
say the same.
I'm not. I'm not talking about white people. Like
Yeah,
there
you
were people that weren't white that were over there. America doesn't want to acknowledge that most of the time. Like I'm just talking about the idea of actual history. Like we were over on the East Coast first, so
were we?
there.
Yeah,
There's people all over the country, man.
not us, Larry.
We were over here.
Uh,
Like
Ah,
what? Which history do you want to talk about right now? Because I mean, don't get me wrong. Like we can talk about other history, but I'm
Alternative
just saying.
history.
No, I'm not even saying alternative. I'm just saying like like if we're talking about American history,
Yeah.
then we're
Me and
talking about the
Heck
East Coast.
as Mexicans, our history was here before white people
Dude,
got to these shores.
I
You
am more
know?
Mexican than both of you put together.
How do you
Then
figure?
Yeah.
Hecht and Moses.
I'm the only Mexican on this call that has a Mexican birth certificate. Beat that.
Well, I don't
Wait,
need one
you were
because
born in Mexico?
No, but I have a Mexican birth certificate, and it's something I'm fucking dealing with right now.
What does that even mean? I don't even understand.
When I was 8, my grandma went to Mexico and told me I was born in Mexico, so that I would have a Mexican birth certificate in case I was ever drafted. I could run to Mexico and say, "Look, I'm a citizen,"
But
which is something I now have to
Oh,
deal with it because we found it out through
yeah, you're more likely to be
some other
drafted
bullshit.
over there than here.
that sounds like fraud.
It is, yeah.
It is.
Oh,
That,
okay.
that makes
I
you
think that
more
makes you
white.
less
That
Mexican,
makes
not
you more
more,
white.
right?
Yeah.
And lucky for my grandma, she died way before anybody found out what happened.
damn. That just means dual citizenship. That's all I'm hearing.
Yeah. But I listen, and don't get me wrong. I'm not saying like American history is the only history that matters because you all know that I don't believe that. I'm just
It sounds
saying.
like you do.
No, no. Listen, I'm just talking about like what we're talking about is debt to Pachuco, right? We're talking
Yeah.
about Zoot Suit Riot. Like that's American history. That's not Mexican history.
Mexican American history.
Chicano history.
Yeah, Chicano
Mexican
history.
American history is American history.
That look, oh, okay. Now I'll stop speaking Spanish too, Larry. Yeah. Cause I'll
What?
start speaking American. Yeah, you're right.
No,
Yeah.
nobody's saying don't speak
No,
Spanish.
yeah,
I didn't
that's all
say
right.
that.
No, you're
I'm
right. You're
saying
right. I
I'm saying what I'm trying
hear
to do is
I hear you loud and clear.
what in the same way like African American history is American history.
Lawrence only knows the Cherry Poppin' Daddy's version of the Zoot Suit
Like
Riot.
Dude,
even Jay is like,
listen.
fuck this
First
bullshit.
of all,
That's a good song though.
It is a good song.
it's
I love
so
that
good.
song.
It's so good. That's what I'm saying. Like, look, you said that like there was something wrong with like knowing Zoot Suit Riot through Cherry Papa Daddy. As long as you follow up, I'm okay with you. You know? Like you can like the song and be like, "What was the Zoot Suit Riot?" So when you look it up and you're like, "Oh my god, I'm happy." You know, look, because that's like, look, that's a group of people that would not even have known that that was a thing at all unless that song was created. So I'm like, but yeah, but
Between
it's
that
good stuff.
song and The Mask, dude.
Do people learn about Zuzu Rise through the mask?
Yeah, because they look up his outfit and they realize he's wearing a zoot suit.
Yeah.
Who looks that up?
Kids.
They don't just
No,
look
kids.
for the mask suit and the zoot suit come up?
It's a zoot
Yeah.
suit that he wears.
No, listen, I'm not listen. What you're saying to me is I knew that before the mask came out.
Yeah.
What I'm saying to you is I'm talking about when white people are like, I want to get a suit like the mask. They don't look up zoot suit. They're like
No,
mask suit.
they look up the mask, the suit from the mask, and
Right.
it's a zoot suit. So that's how they learn about it.
Does
Oz
that come
knows
up?
because he committed fraud.
Yes.
I don't know. I don't know. I don't know if it still does, but it did. Like I've known of people that heard about it because they were looking up that
Oh,
suit.
that's interesting.
But that was, I mean,
that's
how long ago did the mask come out?
that's before the internet was sanitized.
92, 94.
Yeah, so the 90s, there was no internet. Like I
There
don't
was
know,
internet in the 90s.
94.
It was just early internet.
That doesn't count.
It was before. Well, it doesn't count because there was like now it's only like 5 websites.
Yeah,
Like,
there was no Google.
back then. There was a lot of websites.
There was
I mean,
Netscape.
yeah, there was no Google, but that doesn't mean it's not the internet. The internet existed before Google.
You could still search. Like they used to call them keywords.
Yeah, I
Alter
mean, like
Disc.
there was. Yeah, like you look like I was acting like you don't remember. Oz, you were there. You were in those AOL chat rooms. You had that disc.
The internet was bigger back then. Now it's all owned by Amazon and Meta.
I don't know if it was bigger, but But it definitely was. It was definitely less policed or less monitored. Let's put it like that.
I
Or
was
But
down with
anyway,
the internet when it
owned.
wasn't so corporate.
Yeah.
right. It was definitely 100% less corporate. 100%. So anyway, look, Dead to Pachuco. So let's go back. We're talking about this Noir story, friggin' set in uh 1940s Los Angeles. And one of the things that I respect from this book, where I was just like, I love how it like gave like the OG names of these neighborhoods before it had like the anglicized names of the neighborhoods, and
Yeah.
like told them to you like that, which I was like, that's so cool because like it's one of those things where again, I like history and I like LA history. So like when they said it, I was reading this joint like, oh wow, like that's like a deep cut, and I'm like, people aren't gonna know what that is. But then I read like the next two panels, and then they're like, oh, it's Pasadena, and I'm like,
Hmm.
oh, okay, cool. Like because for me, I was just like, I knew it was Pasadena, but I'm like, most people don't know
I
that that's what.
I've never heard Paredon Blanco. I know Boyle Heights.
Right,
So
right.
yeah, when I read it too, I was like, what the hell? Oh boy, oh shit, that's where they're at.
Yeah, yeah, and that's the thing where it's like it's kind of one of those things where I mean, listen, you don't like everybody in Southern California knows that like Los Angeles was Mexico. And how much you choose to acknowledge that might be, that's up to you as a person, but we all know that that was the case. And so it's like we knew that everything here had a different name. We know, like, whether you want to do the anglicized version of the names of these streets, like most of these streets are named what they're named because like we have like these Latin names for our streets. And, you know,
And
whether
native
you call it
names too.
right, which are fewer, unfortunately, but,
It's weird because in
yeah,
the richer areas, there's like you go to like Malibu, it's like Chautauqua, and it's like that's
right,
literally like the path to the water from the Blackfoot or
right,
whatever natives.
right,
Yeah,
right.
yeah.
I
And
was
Or
so,
I was Topanga, like yeah.
I was gonna talk shit
mhm.
about, like, I was gonna say they fucked up on one of the names because I didn't realize that Chavez Ravine was a name for Cesar Chavez.
You didn't know that?
No, I always thought it was for Cesar Chavez, like Cesar Chavez Avenue.
Yeah,
No.
yeah.
And then like, I had no idea. I was like, oh, he fucked up because Chavez wasn't around till. And then I looked it up. It's like, never mind.
Yeah, man. Yeah, like there's a lot of history out here, man. But
Oh.
that's the thing is like it's very interesting because LA as a city doesn't embrace its history very much. Definitely not in the same way. Like I said, like the East Coast, like they live and die on that.
Hmm.
And don't get me wrong, LA as a city has a lot of other things going on. And so I guess, for whatever reason, we choose not to like overly emphasize it. But we have a lot of history, and unfortunately we just choose to not embrace it in that same way. And
You
it's a rich history and it's a different history, which is very cool.
you learn a lot about. Well, I learned a lot about it in different ways, like reading like the magazines, like the old pulp magazines, like Zorro, Zorro stories. Like Zorro is
Hmm.
essentially Batman in LA at the time,
Right. Right.
and it takes place in like downtown LA, like my old neighborhood,
Hmm.
and it's like
Hmm.
before it was like what it is,
Right.
and what's the other like, and then watching like old watching old westerns, like they take place in San Bernardino, like the Wide Earp movies always they're basically trying to get the Union Pacific line to come from like Arizona through like San Bernardino into the harbor here, shit like that. So all the westerns like give you the history, but Again, it's all sanitized, and, you know. But there's a lot that is there. Like if once you start connecting all the pieces, you know.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, man. Yeah. So let's talk about this book. Um, like Jay, you read Death to Pachuco, yes?
Mm-hmm.
What'd you think of this book?
I don't know. Couldn't really get into it.
Listen, yeah, and tell us why.
I'm not sure. It just did not resonate with me. Like, and I normally like noir stuff,
Right.
but I don't know, for some reason.
Do you feel like it was something with the art or something with the storytelling, or is it
Well, the
something
art's
else
not
that?
good, but
Okay, and that's fair. That's fair.
I could normally get around that.
That's true. That's true. So
Yeah. But
okay,
yeah, I was
but
not a fan of the art.
okay, okay. Well, listen. What about you, Oz? How you read the book? How did you feel about it?
Um, Same like Jay, I couldn't get into it. I think the parts that really kept taking me out are the where the characters are speaking Spanish because it doesn't flow like the Spanish that I grew up with. I don't know if it's because this takes
Mm,
place in the 40s and maybe it was different, but it just doesn't flow right. Like I'm trying to read it like I'm a little kid at home talking to my parents or listening to my mom
yeah.
say something, and it just does not sound right the way it's written.
So the Spanglish is off.
It's not even the Spanglish; it's like the full on Spanish. Like there's a
Oh,
scene,
really?
there's a scene like the where he shows up and he's talking to this lady and her mom, and the mom doesn't speak
Mm,
English,
right.
and he says something. The daughter laughs, and let me see if I could find that page.
I
And
know.
the
I know.
so the mom's response is like pendeja, ¿qué dijo él? I don't like the last word L, like what did he say? I don't feel like that doesn't sound like something like how it would flow because there's only three people in this room. So I feel like she would just say ¿qué dijo? And then maybe curse them out some
Mm,
more. It just
Yeah.
like that last word, like it felt weird. It felt like when you hear a Spanish teacher teaching Spanish and it's not like anything I've ever
mm.
heard of growing up. It may be proper,
So
maybe that's the way it's supposed to go, but
yeah,
it's not what I'm used to.
yeah. So do you feel like it might be like that might be like an editorial thing where maybe somebody was like, how it should be is this, and maybe they might have wrote it different, or maybe that's how you wrote it because he felt like, well, let me make sure that it's like proper Spanish as opposed to like
I
conversational.
I mean, maybe that's how he grew up with the Spanish, or maybe that's how it was in the 40s. I don't know. It's just
Mm.
it's not what I'm used to, and that kept throwing me off a little bit.
What's your take
But
on that, Mo?
there's not a lot of it, so I mean that's
Yeah, yeah.
but it's there.
Do you resonate with that at all, Mo? Like, did the Spanish
I
feel
mean,
weird?
I can see why it throws them off, but I've heard like I've known people that grew up in like East LA, Whittier, like
Mm-hmm.
in the 50s and 60s. You know, like I knew these people,
Mm-hmm.
and I grew up around some of these people, and that's kind of how they talked. You know, so
Mm.
I don't know if it was, and these are
So they
people
might have
who's
spoken
they're Chicanos, they're
more proper
Mexican,
Spanish.
they're like
Mm-hmm.
Mexican American, but they're like they don't have like they've been here for 4 generations by the time I met them. You know, like they don't know.
Mm-hmm.
You know, so it's they speak a little. You want they like their kids speak no Spanish. You know, so
Oh, that's crazy.
and that's the but they're the last one, so they barely spoke it, so they spoke it wrong. You know,
What now?
uh,
When you say wrong, does that mean that they spoke
like
it
the way that
like
Oz said it,
like
like where he says like it sounds wrong,
proper?
like where the way Oz said it, where it sounds wrong to him, that's how they would speak.
Yeah,
Like
it also could depend. Like if you're from
Okay, so they
from
are
Mexico
speaking like a.
City,
they're not using proper grammar because they're 4 generations in, and they're losing the Spanish. You know, they also come from a culture where people like
But what Oz is saying is that Oz saying the opposite though. He's saying
no.
it's not that.
No, I'm
Isn't
not.
that what you're saying, Oz? Like,
I'm not saying the way I heard it was proper. I'm just saying the way I read it does not sound like it would have been spoken in my house. I don't know which
but are
one
you
is
saying?
proper or. And
Oh,
look,
got you.
my parents come from like the hills of Mexico. These people could
Right.
come from like the city.
Their accents would be like somebody from like New Orleans or Kentucky or something
Mm,
compared to
got it.
somebody from
So it's
LA,
not
you
even.
know. It's not
So we're
about
not even talking about. We're not even talking about proper versus improper. We're talking more so about like dialect.
well, Oz in
Possibly,
his case
I
it's
don't know
dialect.
what it is.
In his my experience was being like even the grammar was off when, but they would speak it, but the grammar would be off. So it's like they'll even say like el, you know, el cosa instead of la cosa, you know, like stuff like that. So they'll
Mm,
get the masculine and feminine off, you know, because they're like halfway. They're thinking in English or speaking in Spanish, you know, and
got you. Got
it
you.
crisscrosses. And that's when Oz said that line that he said. That's literally like somebody that thinks in English but speaks in Spanish would say something like that. Now the character probably wouldn't have been that if his character they would think like that, but that's again, it's comics are like observational, so it's like it's how the kid heard it, you know, or whoever
Right.
was
It
speaking
Right.
it
to heard
Right.
it
it,
too.
it, it might even be how the writer does it. I don't know.
Like how he heard his
Yeah,
yeah,
like
yeah.
I tried texting my mom in Spanish and I can't do it. I can read it, I understand it, I know what I'm trying to say, but it just does not sound right. I have to call her because there's no way this text is going to make any sense to her.
Mm.
Like right
Okay.
here
But her text to me, I can read them fine. I know what she's saying.
in right here in chat, Emily says it's like a no sabo kid. Like that's the thing. Like the no
What's that
sabo.
mean?
No sabo means like you're supposed to say no say to I don't know, but the kids say no sabo when they don't. They're like not. They don't know how to speak Spanish
They're,
anymore.
they're the
You know.
No
kids whose the
Nintendo.
parents forbid them from learning Spanish because they had to integrate,
What does
Right.
sabo mean?
Nothing.
understand. No,
Yeah. Or no. Yeah. But it really doesn't mean that. Like it's like when you say I don't know, it's like I don't say or no or I don't understand, no entiendo. You know, sabo like it's
Right.
a word they made up thinking that it's a Spanish word. You know, and they say no sabo. You
It's
know,
it's Spanish speaking people making up
because
a word that's not a
well,
they're
word.
not Spanish
because
speaking. That's why they make it up because they don't speak Spanish.
Oh.
So they
because
think
there's also
Oh.
like you could say like if you're saying I don't know, you could say yo no sé, and
yeah,
then somehow that got turned into yo no sabo.
porque tú sabes. You know, like
Oh
you
yeah,
know.
okay, yeah, that
Yeah.
makes sense.
So it's like tú sabes, yo no sabo. You know, like so they
Instead
know
of yo no,
that.
instead of yo no sé, tú sabes, it's yo no sabo
So they
because it
think
actually
of
works.
instead, yeah, and that's where no
I don't even know
sabo
what
came from.
sabes is. I've never heard that before.
Sabes
Is that a
means
real
you
word?
know, yeah. Come on, you fuck, you listen to
I-
motherfucker act
If
like
I
he
I
never
don't speak
like,
Spanish.
but like you never heard a
if I tell you
reggaeton, like you never heard a reggaeton artist speak in an interview, like you worked in radio, like come on, like tu
if I
sabes, you know, like what the
yeah,
fuck,
tú
yeah, you've
sabes
heard that
is
shit before, yeah, you know,
you
tu
know.
sabes, you know, like yeah,
Here's the problem: from California to Arizona to New Mexico, everybody has different Spanish because
oh yeah.
everybody has slang Spanish. So everybody has their own Spanish.
But like tú sabes is like you like how would you say tú sabes? Heck
The same.
yeah. And that's what I'm saying. Larry's heard tú sabes before.
From who?
I don't know. You watch TV, like you watch, you know.
You live in LA. You hang
Yeah.
around Mexicans. What the hell?
Yeah.
I do hang around a lot of
Tú
Mexicans.
sabes,
I
güey.
don't
Tú sabes. Tú sabes. No,
Yeah.
I don't know
no,
that
no
I
chingues, güey.
listen.
Tú
Maybe
sabes.
I don't even listen. I may have heard it and didn't know what it meant. Like no say, no Nintendo. I know both of those. Tu sabes. I'm like,
No sabo.
not like, yeah, like look,
Larry's
and
a
then
no
to
sabo
find out
kid.
that look, if sabes is a word, then sabo should be a word too. I feel.
Well, that's
You know,
how they feel too. Yeah. That's why they call them the no sabo
the,
kids. You know?
The part that really hurts is how well his mom speaks Spanish.
Yeah.
So he is a no sabo kid.
Hey man, listen, I didn't grow up in Belize. I don't know what to tell you.
You
I
grew up
didn't
in
grow up in Mexico.
LA. Like they literally they yelled at my mother-in-law at Dollar Tree for speaking Spanish. Cause speak English. Cause it's like there's so many people speaking Spanish here.
I didn't say
That's
nothing because I
hilarious.
really didn't know Spanish until I started working at Michael's, and I learned
That's
that from all the
hilarious.
Mexicans that came.
That's hilarious.
At
Listen.
Miguel's.
Yeah,
Okay. So Moses, man, how do you feel about this book? Like Death to Pachuco? Like what is it like
Oh, I like it, man.
tell
Like
me
this
like
is
how do you feel about like the art? How do you feel about the storytelling for issue 1?
the art I don't think is bad, but I do think that it is trying to like invoke like your Eduardo Rizzo's type, and it just
I feel
doesn't
that.
do that as well, you know, as
It
other people
doesn't.
have done it. So
Unfortunately.
when you
Yeah.
think if you think that, but I don't think it's bad, you know.
Mhm.
But I see what it's trying to do. It just doesn't do it. But the story for me, it's always story carries it, and I like the story. I like the
Yeah.
history. I like the characters. Um,
Yeah.
where I don't like this book is that I don't feel I get enough of the characters. Like,
Mm.
you know, they're you know, but it's still first issue, you know. So
Right, right,
it's
right.
like it's like I'm gonna get more. So I think this is one of these books that will benefit from reading the collected
Yeah.
edition in one
Yeah.
swoop. That's where this as an issue 1, this is where this fails, but it's
Yeah.
still a good read. It just again it keeps me wanting more, and if it keeps you wanting more, that's technically a good thing, right?
Mhm.
But
Yeah,
yeah,
yeah.
I wish I had more of the
Right.
character. Like I got a better sense of what the characters are, who they
Yeah,
are.
yeah.
You know.
Mo,
I agree.
Mo, I have a question for you
Yeah.
because I think you are probably the only one that could even answer this one. I don't remember. I don't remember what these were called, but I know growing up, my parents had they. To me, they were comic books. They were like little manga, like
Yeah.
Digest size manga books,
Yeah.
but they were Mexican. They were like in Spanish, and they were
Yeah.
all like noir stories.
Yeah.
I don't
They're
remember
po-
what those books are called.
they're in English they call them pulp magazines, pulp fiction. That's how like you get and some like you would read there'd be comics inside or strips in serialized in
Yeah,
volumes,
the whole
and
book was
then
like a comic book, but
yeah,
it was
and
like a
then
Reader's Digest
you'd have
size.
prose as well, but
Yeah.
they call them like Tijuana Bibles too, like because you would get them in a lot of the ones that were called Tijuana Bibles, but they were paquines in Spanish. They call them paquines, you know, but they were a lot of the Tijuana Bibles were like pornographic too, you know, and they were more like,
Mhm.
and again, it was pulp fiction, and it was like a lot of noir stories, a lot of romance, murder, dramas. Like it wasn't the stuff that you would get in comic books, like you know, funny superhero stuff. It was more like real people stuff, like your Rex
Mhm.
Morgan MD type stuff. But
Mhm.
you would get them in little books, like the Archie Digest size,
Yeah.
and they were thicker too. Like they were probably like yeah, probably like 100 pages or so, and they would chapter kind of like how manga does, or like your Shonen Jump, but in that format, like the size of a manga book, like this, but it'd be like half as thick.
This
Uh,
this book reminded me of picking one of those up when I was little,
right? Yeah,
but comic verse
Mm.
size.
yeah, yeah. That's what it really felt
Mhm.
like too. Because I would get them. You remember this, Larry? You probably remember this too. But there used to be those little
Mhm.
green wooden boxes that were like newsstands essentially, and
Mhm.
they
Yeah.
would have them. You know,
Mhm.
and
Well, my
that's
mom had
Oh,
a lot
absolutely.
in her because she had a beauty salon, so that was
yeah,
like her reading material.
yeah.
Oh, wow.
I
That's
got in
cool.
trouble because I drew hair on the naked ladies.
I used to
I was a
draw.
Josh
little
out
kid.
here running amok. Running amok.
Yeah,
I was a little kid.
yeah. I
So
used to draw
fellas, look,
penises on.
on the women? Is that what
Yeah.
you're into? No,
Especially the
listen, Mo
naked,
out here.
and that's how we used to get Condorito was like that. That's how when you read Condorito, like it came in that size of book.
Yeah. Yeah.
Mm.
Yeah. Larry acts like he knows what it is.
I just didn't remember what those were called.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
know what
In Spanish,
Condorito
they call them
is.
paquines, and that's basically comic books. But it's just that the way they would present it to you would be in that size.
So, fellas, we're running short on time here. So, with that being said, wait, heck, you didn't read this book, did you?
Yeah.
He's the one
Oh, damn it.
that suggested it. That's why he called in.
Heck, you suggested this book?
Yeah, man.
I'm sorry, Heck. I apologize. Heck, talk to us real quick. Tell us what made you decide to suggest
He
this
doesn't want to
book.
do it real
And
quick. He wants his due time.
I can do real quick.
that,
It was something I saw on the newsstand,
uh,
and I found a presser for it,
mm-hmm,
and I liked the story, the art. I read the book at the same around the same time. I got the Batman annual, and both
mm-hmm.
of the arts on the main stories were kind of similar. So it didn't
Okay,
it didn't bother me as bad.
mm-hmm,
But I like the story. Like I like the story because it's at a time where like that year era is
right.
about the time that my dad was growing up. So
Yeah,
it's like, oh
1940s, right.
yeah. So like, and
Was
I
your
know,
dad like a zoo suit guy?
yeah, but
Oh,
down
that's
here,
so cool.
yeah. And then at the same time, I got my cousin staying here, and she's telling me stuff about my dad that I never knew. So now I'm learning
Mm,
like family history while reading this,
right.
and it kind of weirdly all kind of flowed together.
Yeah. Striking a chord. I hear you.
Yes, very. So I got into the story, and it's I like the story. It's a good story. I have the same complaint about the speech as Oz because
Mm,
it doesn't flow.
mm.
Like you read it and it's put through Google Translate.
Right.
It's very no sabo.
That's
But
very
I get the
nostalgic.
intent. I just think the
That's,
dude should have got like a little nanita and gotten a good translation. But at the same
I
time, like
mean,
the Zoot
what?
Suiters had
Mm-hmm.
their own language too.
Right.
So you got Spanish, and then you got the Zoot Suit Spanish. So
Right.
it's like that
Right.
part where he says chale. Not a lot of people say chale,
Yeah,
Right.
and I was always taught that was from my dad because of the way he was.
Mm.
So like
That's
that's
interesting.
he wouldn't call it Pachuco speak, but he called it something else. But it was like that. Like it's just different. So reading this,
Right.
you can see like the detective dude, if he knows this kind of Spanish, he knows people really well, or he's part of that subculture.
yeah,
Mm-hmm.
So it
Yeah.
like to me, it's a good story. I like where it's going. Um, it the overall the comic needs just a little tweaking on the dialect,
Yeah.
but I like the art. I feel the art, as gritty as it is, matches the book.
Mm-hmm.
So I got no problem with that.
Okay. Yeah. That's fair. Okay. Well, listen. Does anybody else have anything they want to say about Death of Pachuco before we go ahead and rate it?
I got
I'll
number
do it
two.
when we
Okay.
rate. You got
Let's
what?
go ahead and do it.
I got the second issue today,
Oh, nice.
but I haven't
Oh,
read.
the second issue came out today?
It might have came out last week because I think I saw
Oh,
it, but I'm not sure.
No, I think it came out
got it.
today because
Yeah,
I yeah I was at the shop last week and I didn't see it.
because I was at another comic shop today, and I'll call in another time and tell you guys that story. Because
Okay.
You got the pink Thundercats.
no, that was another comic shop. But
Oh man.
yeah, I got you that.
Pink
Thanks.
Thundercats. I love it.
Yeah.
Listen, Jay, give me your rating for Debt to Pachuco #1.
I give it a 2 out of 5. It just wasn't hitting with
Oh,
me for the
okay.
story or the art.
That's fair. Okay. Oscore, Death to Pachuco #1. What would you rate it?
I'm gonna go with 4, even though I couldn't get into it and the art's not that great. Picking it up took me back to those books when I was a little kid, and I know my parents, both my parents loved them, and they couldn't keep them on the shelves at the beauty salon. Like every time I walked in, somebody was reading those, so obviously they were popular.
Got it.
Yeah, it just took me back to that. So I know they're popular. I just couldn't get into them, so I'm gonna give it a 4.
Okay, sounds good. Moses Magnum, what would you rate Death to Pachuco #1?
I give it a 4. I would have given it a 5, except for what I talked about earlier, where I just, I wish I'd get more of the characters. But again, it's the #1. That's part of what happens in comics that are serialized monthly like that. But
Right.
but yeah, it's definitely a 4. I really do like the blend of the cultural history aspect with
Mm-hmm.
the noir aspect,
Right.
and I think it really does that really well. So that's definitely a 4 for me. And again, the art is I enjoy it. It could have been better. I see what it's trying to do, but I enjoy it. The colors, like, even if you don't like probably the line art, but the way they use color is really well too. I that it's the art is really like moves the story along and it adds to the story. So I yeah, 4 out of 5 for sure.
Okay. El Hecht, what would you give Death to Pachuco #1?
I give it a 4 as well. Um, I got no problem with the characters like wanting to see more, but
Mm-hmm.
it's a cliffhanger kind of thing. So just got to get in the next one.
Got it. Got it. And like as for myself, I'm gonna give it a 3.5. Um, the story I did find interesting. I do feel like there was like a little bit that was wanting in the execution of the story, but I think the big hit is just the art for me. Like I wasn't a big fan of the art, unfortunately, and I do think it was trying to do like the Rizzo kind of deal, but it doesn't succeed in the execution, unfortunately. And so I'm kind of like, but like the historical aspect, like that particular moment in time is ripe for telling amazing stories. And I love this perspective. And so I'm hoping that it delivers moving forward. I think it will. So yeah, 3.5 for me. So cool. All right, folks. Unfortunately, we're gonna have to get back to Visions another day.
Yeah, fuck
So
Disney.
so with that said, let's do some final thoughts. Let's get out of here. Uh El Hecht, we're gonna start with you, buddy.
Yeah.
Give me some final thoughts.
Um, Final thought. There's some
Got
comic
it, Heck.
that need the support.
Say it again.
There's some comic shops that need the support.
Amen. There it is. Look, support your local comic shop, folks. It's like if you love comics, even if you only do digital, that's okay. Nobody's mad at you. Pick whatever your favorite comic that you read digitally that week and go into your local comic shop and get that one.
Yeah.
That'll do a lot on its own. If everybody that is reading comics digitally decides to go in a comic shop and buy one comic, that would be a lot. So, make it happen. All right. Jay, give me some final thoughts, man.
I got nothing this week.
Fair. Oscor, final thoughts.
I need to buy a suit too. I forget how good those look.
Right?
Yeah, I know, right?
I just
There
need
it
the
is.
pants. Like I'll wear a wife beater.
Hey,
You gotta have the
you can rock
suspenders,
that,
though.
Moses. Hey, listen. All valid. I love it. Look, the zoot suit pants with a wife beater and suspenders, and then the hat. You gonna do the hat, Mo?
Oh, I got the hats already. You see me with the hat.
There you go. There it is. Moses Magnum, final thoughts.
What I really like is mariachi pants with the buckles along the side like that.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, but they're usually tight.
Mariachi
Though.
pants. To
Yeah,
play.
but I wear tight pants as it is. I'm wearing tight pants right now. Look.
No, we don't want to look. No, put it away.
Demonetized.
Don't do it.
But yeah,
Demonetized.
but yeah, I wear like they're literally like cut like Levi's 514s, which I like wearing as it is already. So
514.
that's my
Okay, got
preferred.
it.
That's my preferred Levi's cut. You know, if I was thinner,
Got
it'd be
it.
the 501s, of course. But you know,
There it
yeah.
is.
But yeah. So subscribe,
Brother.
like, hit the bell.
My ass wouldn't even fit in any Levi.
With that said,
541.
thank you.
541.
Thank you all so much for hanging out with us. We do appreciate you. We'll be back next week. Let us know what you like, what you don't like, what you want to see more of. We will listen. And with that said, again, thank you so much for hanging out with us. We are the Fantastic Forum. Have a good night.